She called at 5 o'clock in the morning. Not drunk. Not in tears. Just quiet, hesitant, like someone afraid of their own voice. "Hey," she said, soft and casual, as if nothing had broken. As if I hadn't removed every trace of her from the life we were supposed to build together. As if I hadn't stood there, weeks earlier, watching the light fade from her eyes even while she smiled like everything was fine. She never knew I saw it. She thought I was always just behind her lies, like I wore blinders made of love and routine. I didn't speak right away. Just let the silence stretch out, thick and unforgiving. She tried to fill it. "I've been thinking about us." I kept staring at the faint glow of the screen, my thumb hovering over mute. Outside, the rain tapped gently against the windows, a soft, steady sound that buzzed through my veins like static. "I know you canceled the wedding," she finally said, like the weight of it had only just hit her. Like she was only now feeling what I'd been carrying for weeks. "But can we talk?" What she didn't know was that I had already seen it all unfold. The whole story. Long before she reached out. She didn't know I knew about the trip, about him, about everything. She didn't know the truth had already seeped through the cracks in her story before she ever opened her mouth. I stayed quiet. She mistook it for compassion. 3 months before the wedding, she said she needed space. Not from me, from herself. That's how she framed it. Her therapist had recommended a solo trip to clear her head before starting a new chapter. I didn't argue. I never did. Not when her voice softened like truth. Not when her eyes drifted somewhere far away like she was already halfway gone. But the night before she left, I saw the message, a flash on her screen. "Can't wait to see you again. I've missed you." No name. Just the initial C. I didn't ask. I didn't yell. I didn't demand answers. Suspicion, I've learned, doesn't scream. It settles in quietly, coils in your chest and waits. At the airport, she kissed my cheek, smiled like the ground hadn't shifted. But her hand tightened around her bag's strap, a quiet signal. Guilt makes a home in the body long before it escapes the mouth. 2 days later, she posted a photo. Sunset over the ocean, wine glass in hand. But there was a second glass, barely visible at the edge, catching enough light to betray the lie. The caption read, "Solo Serenity." A graceful deception. Polished. Perfumed. Almost admirable in how easily it slid into the world. I didn't confront her. I observed. The hotel in the background was easy to identify, a luxury spot in Santorini. One call led to another. I knew someone in the industry. Quiet favors. Confirmations. His name was Connor, her ex. The one who left because she wasn't ready for real love. Apparently now she was. I got the records. Flight confirmations, hotel bookings, receipts. He flew out 2 days before her. Checked into the same room. Left a day after she did. I printed everything, black and white, time-stamped. I didn't have to wonder. I had proof. When she came back, she was glowing. Lighter hair. Sun-warmed skin. A few freckles she hadn't had before. Her laughter came too quickly. Her eyes too wide. Like she was trying to outrun the truth. She told stories, adding just enough detail to sound believable. I played along. Picked up her wedding dress. Smiled as I handed it to her. But inside, I was sharpening silence into something clean and final. Then I found the voicemail. Only seconds long, a mistake. A pocket dial. His voice laughing. "Still think he suspects anything?" Click. 2 weeks before the wedding, I left an envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside, the photos, travel logs, printed transcript of the voicemail. No note. No dramatic message. Just the truth. Cold, undeniable. She came home from work humming. She always did when she was at ease. The sound died when she opened the envelope. I watched from the hallway mirror. Watched her knees give in. Not dramatically, not like in films with shouting and broken plates. It was quiet. Subtle. Like something inside her had finally surrendered. She didn't cry. Didn't scream. She just stared at the papers and whispered. No. Not "I'm sorry." Not "let me explain." Just no. Like the betrayal had come not from her actions, but from the evidence itself. I stepped in, picked up my keys. She looked at me. Eyes wide, wrecked, searching for anything solid. I asked one word. "Why?" Her lips moved, but no sound came out. I nodded. Walked out. 3 days later, I canceled the venue. Her family reached out. Calls, texts. I didn't respond. They weren't the ones who scorched the ground and smiled through the smoke. She showed up once. Stood at my door. I didn't answer. Later, she sent a long email. Rambling. She talked about fear, about how she thought she was making the right choice. How she convinced herself it would somehow hurt less this way. I replied with 2 sentences. You made your choice. I made mine. Then I blocked her. No rage. No spectacle. Just silence. Sharp. Final. She had already handed herself to the past. All I did was return her future. And that, in the end, was mercy. Weeks later, she called again. Same soft voice. Still trembling, like maybe time had softened me. Like maybe she thought silence was the same as forgiveness. But I hadn't forgotten. I just moved on. Something she never taught herself how to do. I'm sorry, she said. And I believed her. But apologies don't rebuild trust. They're just flowers laid on the grave of what once was. I miss you, she added. Like it might change something. I let the words sit there. Let them lose their shape. Then I said quietly, I don't. And I hung up. No drama. No bitterness. Just accuracy. A line, drawn and never crossed again.